What is up, guys? Emmanuel Jones back here with another NFL record prediction. And this time, I'm going to give you my record predictions for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2021. Give you my thoughts, giving you my record predictions on the Bengals to see which matchup is a good matchup for the Bengals and which matchup is a bad matchup for the Bengals. But before I give you my record predictions for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2021, make sure you do put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more options, and don't forget to always comment down your opinion below on what you think your record prediction for the Bengals is. Do you think that they're gonna be the worst teams in the league? Do you think they're gonna be about average, or you think they could make the jump into the playoffs and might take a little step forward? Just let me know what your thoughts are. So all right, so week 1 they kick it off. Cincinnati Bengals kick it off with the Minnesota Vikings. Absolutely, I have the Vikings winning. And the reason why is that, I just think the Vikings, they're just a better team. They have the better coach. They have the better quarterback. I mean, yeah, I just feel like that, Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen's going to have a big game versus that week's Bengals secondary, which is not great. And the Bengals don't really have a great defense. So I think Dalvin Cook will have a big game. So, yeah. And I feel like the Vikings have the corners. I feel like they upgraded the corners to cover the receivers of the Bengals, and I believe they upgraded their front seven to like stop the run and give Joe Burrow like a tough time. So that's why the Vikings win week 1. Now week 2 they gotta play versus the Bears. Obviously, now this is an either way game because this is a game where we can see the Bengals win, but you know what? We can see the Bengals win this game because now if Andy Dalton plays in this game, I'm leaning towards the Bengals to win. But if Justin Fields play, I might pick the Bears because I feel like the Bears do have the defense, to like slow down the Bengals offense, and I think the Bears do have the weapons offensively, to expose the Bengals defense, which is not great. But I think this game is going to be a little closer than we expected. But I think the Bears will find a way to win this game because I feel like the Bears are just a better coached team. They're at home. So, yeah. So that's why I think the Bears will win. Now, week 3, they got to play versus Steelers. I have you guys splitting with the Steelers this year. They split. I know you split with them last year, so I'm going to say you lose the first game to the Steelers because the Steelers are just a better team overall. They're just a better coach team overall. And the reason why, and I also have the Bengals beating the Steelers in week 12 because this is the game where I think Ryan Finley really played well in that game. But I think the second game, this is the game where I think Joe Burrow is going to play well in this game. So, all right, next game, they have to play versus the Jaguars. You know what? I feel like this game right here is going to be very interesting, but it can go either way, though. But you know what? I like what the Jags did in the offseason, adding some really good additions. But you know what? But you know what? I feel like this game is going to be very close. Now Jacksonville can barely pull this off though, but I'm going to go towards the Bengals to win this game because I just feel like the Bengals have the better. I feel like they have the better offense in this game. I feel like, the Jags defense is very young, and I just really think that I just don't think the Jags secondary is that good enough to cover the Bengals receivers. So I feel like that Chase, Higgins, and Boyd is going to have a big game against that Jags defense. I think they're going to have a big game against that Jags young secondary. And I think Joe Mixon's going to run all over that Jags young defense too, which I don't think is great. So that's why I think the Bengals are going to win this game. Next game, they got to play versus the Packers. I actually had the Packers winning because the Packers is the better team. I just feel like Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Allen, and the rest of the Packers' weapons are going to have a big game against that Bengals. defense, which is not great, and Aaron Rodgers might thrive if he's on the team. I mean, yeah. So I think the Packers find a way to win, and they also have the defense to slow down the Bengals offense. And I just think the Packers have the corners to cover the Bengals receivers. So yeah, that's why the Packers win. Next game, they have to play versus the Lions. I have them beating the Lions. Now the reason why is that I just feel like the Bengals are just a better team overall, and they just have a better receiving core. I mean, the Lions don't really have any playmakers or anything. So yeah, so I feel like that the Bengals, the weapons on offense for the Bengals, I feel like they're gonna have a big game versus that Lions defense, which is not really good. I mean, I'm not a big believer in Jared Goff. I mean, yeah, I'm more a fan of Joe Burrow than Jared Goff. I mean, by this point, I just think, in my opinion, I think Joe Burrow is better than Jared Goff. So yeah, so I feel like the Bengals will win. Next game, they have to play versus the Ravens. I actually have you guys. I actually have the Ravens sweeping you guys, sweeping the Bengals, and the reason why is that the Ravens always own the Bengals, and the Ravens, they're just a better coach team. So yeah. So that's why I think the Ravens are gonna find a way to win this, win this game. I mean, no question of that. Next game, they have to play versus the Jets. Now, this game can go either way though, because this is Zach Wilson though versus Joe Burrow, which this is an exciting matchup. Uh, so, so I feel like that the Jets defense is good enough to, I mean, they upgraded their defensive line, to slow down the Bengals offense, give Joe Burrow issues. But I feel like this game's going to be very close. Now, the Jets can barely pull this one off. But I'm going to take the Bengals because I just think the Bengals, I just don't think the Jets secondary is that good. I mean, I feel like the Bengals receiver is going to have a big day. So, yeah, that's why I think the Bengals will win. Now, next game, I play versus the Browns. Obviously, I have you guys splitting with the Browns. I'm going to say you win the first game versus the Browns and you lose the second game versus the Browns. Now, the reason why is that I just feel like the Browns are just a better team overall. I mean, they're the better coach team overall. So that's why I think the Browns are going to win the last game. And the reason why I have to win the first game versus the Browns is that, sometimes the Bengals always own the Browns. But I feel like that they're going to get their revenge because, last year, they got swept by the Browns. Next game, they have a bye week 10. Then after the bye week, they got to play versus the Raiders week 11. Now, this game right here is going to be very interesting. Now, this can go either way, though, because we could see the Raiders, pull this one off because Derek Carr, he's usually the best quarterback in the game. But you know what? I just don't think the Raiders are very good this year. I mean, yeah. But you know what? I know it's in Las Vegas, but I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game because I just feel like that, the Bengals have a better receiving core. And I just feel like that the weapons for the Bengals, I don't think the Raiders secondary is that good. So I don't think they have the corners, to cover the Bengals receivers. So I think that their receivers are gonna have a big day. So yeah, that's why I think the Bengals find a way to win. But I think it's gonna be close though because Derek Carr is usually the best quarterback in the game. So that's why I think the Bengals find a way to win. But that can totally change my mind. But I don't know why. Next game, they have to play versus the Chargers. Obviously, I have the Chargers winning because, I just think the Chargers is the better team overall. And at this point, I think Justin Herbert's the better quarterback than Joe Burrow at this point. So yeah. But last year, I think the Chargers won that game. That's when Justin Herbert was sitting on the bench. So yeah, but you know what? The Chargers, I feel like they're more talented than the Bengals because the Chargers have a really good offensive line who can really, really expose that Bengals defense. And also, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Jared Cook, I feel like they're going to have a big game. Austin Eckler will too. So I feel like Justin Herbert's going to be a challenge because he's a baller. So I feel like, he's going to give Joe Burrow a challenge. But I wouldn't be shocked if this game was close. So yeah, that's why I think the Chargers will win. Next game, they have to play versus the Niners. I actually have the Niners winning because the Niners are just way more talented than the Bengals. I mean, yeah, the weapons they have on offense is gonna expose that Bengals defense, and don't matter who's playing quarterback, whether it's gonna be Jimmy G or Trey Lance. So yeah, and they also have the corners to cover the Bengals receivers, and they have the defense to slow down the Bengals offense and give Joe Burrow a tough time. So yeah, so that's why the Niners find a way to win, and also they're the better coach team. All right, next game they have to play versus the Broncos. Obviously, this game is going to be very, very interesting, but it can go either way though because the Broncos are very weak at the quarterback position. We don't know who's playing quarterback, whether it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock. But you know what? I feel like the Broncos are very talented on both sides of the ball. I like the additions they made on defense. Yeah. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the Broncos here because I just feel like the Broncos are just way more talented than the Bengals, and I just think their defense can find a way to slow down, the Bengals offense, and they also have the corners, to match up to cover the Bengals receivers. So yeah, so I feel like it's gonna be close though, but I think the Broncos are gonna find a way to win that game. So, and also I think they have the better coach right now. So that's why I think Denver wins. Next game, they have to play versus the Chiefs. Obviously, I have the Chiefs winning. Sorry, Bengals fans. Chiefs are just a better team. They have the better quarterback, better coach. Yeah. And I just feel like that the Chiefs offense is gonna have a big game against that Bengals defense, and they're gonna find a way to control the clock and all that. So yeah, that's why I have the Chiefs winning. So at this time, this point, I have the Chiefs going 6-11. With 2-4 in their division, 5-7 in their conference, 3-6 at home, 3-5 away. That's not really good. So I kind of have the Bengals, you know, winning 6 games this year, but I can see them being a little better than that. Maybe they'll win maybe 7 or 8 games this year, depending on how they do. So yeah, because when you look at this schedule, it's very tough. They have to play the Vikings, the Bears, the Steelers, the Packers. They have to play the Ravens twice. I mean, they have to play, the Browns twice. They have to play the Chargers. The Niners, the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Raiders. This is a hard schedule. So, yeah. So I think the Bengals, I feel like the Bengals are going to be I think they're going to land somewhere in that range because I'll say their floor is maybe 3 wins. But I think the Bengals are going to land somewhere from maybe 5 to 6 wins. But I'm gonna go with 6 for right now because they have a very tougher schedule. I think their offense is gonna be very good this year with the addition of Jamar Chase. The defense is still far bits away, and I really think they're gonna have to go in different directions with their head coach. So yeah, that's why I really think that the Bengals are gonna at least take a little step back this year. But I just don't think they're there yet. So I think they're far bits away. So yeah. So all right, guys, just let me know in the comments section below on what you think. Your your prediction on the Bengals. Do you think they're gonna be good? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Or you think I'm an idiot? So all right, guys. It's Emmanuel Jones from the Big Fan. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys later. Peace.